Okay, next paragraph. Losing their land and access to the forest means the tribal people lose their main source of livelihood and food. Please underline what is the problem. Why when the government is making the reserved forests or wild sanctuaries, what is happening with the life of the tribal people? They won't get their livelihood as well as food. Having gradually lost access to their traditional homeland, many Adivasis have migrated to cities in search of work where they are employed for a few very low wages in the local industries or building or in the construction side. The Adivasi people, they are not much educated to get the better job, so they are getting the job in the construction site or building or in the factories with a low wage because of lack of education, and they don't know how much they are working, like that things they can't understand. Now situation is different. They thus get caught a cycle of poverty and deprivation. So they are getting only nowadays, if you are getting normal people getting 300 to 400 rupees per day as a wage, but Adivasi people, they was getting the 1/4 of that one, means 100 rupees, and in olden days it was maybe 5 rupees or 2 rupees per day, like that. And because of that one, what they was facing, they are going through the cycle of poverty. Means because of poverty, I can't afford my food of my family members. Because of that one, they are getting illness, and because of illness, again they want to depend on some medicinal plants or medicine. It may be the allopathic medicine or the Ayurvedic medicine what they want, or their own tribal medicine, like that. And if to purchase that thing, again they want to pay, and like that's again they are because of that one, how much money they earned for food, that also losing into going to others hand in the form of medicine, and like that cycle is repeating again and again. And slowly what will happen, their health loss, so many lives of the Adivasi children, that also losing every day. 45% of the tribe groups in rural areas and 35% in urban areas live below the poverty line. And still we are saying like that India poverty line or the development or eradication of poverty, it is very less because of this. Not only the tribal people, those who are become the landless people, that people altogether. And when we are looking about Adivasi people, 45% of the total population of rural area, tribal people, those who are living in the rural area, 100 persons are there. In that 45% persons, they are living under poverty line. And the urban area, even though they will get one work or other work, or they can work in 2 shifts also, then also 35% out of 100 they are living under poverty. And this lead to deprivation in other areas. Many tribal children are malnourished because they are not getting enough money in their hand. That's why they can't purchase food items. For example, in ration shop, it is available 10 rupees per kg rice is available in the market is 30 to 40 rupees or 50 rupees. But they want to get that 10 rupees to collect that rice. Sometimes it is not with them. What is happening? They won't feed their children and they are becoming malnourished. Literacy rate among tribals are also very low. When the British government was ruling, they started schools, but they never thought about the tribal people or the lower caste people. And in Gurukula system also was the same condition. And when the Christian missionaries came to India, that time only the lower caste people and tribal people started that is in 20th starting of the 20th century. Still, but the tribal literacy rate is very less. Then when Adivasis are displaced from their land, they lose much more a source of income. They lose their tradition and custom. Please underline, not only they are losing their income or livelihood, food, other than that or much more they are losing. One is tradition and custom, the way of living and being. Means the forest, how they was constructing their houses or how they was living peacefully, that everything changing. They took our farming land, they left some houses, and they took our cremation ground, temple, well and pond, and everything. The custom, it is related to each and everything. Farming land, in the time of farming or in the hunting, when they are getting good yield, they are having some traditional dances, songs, and some celebrations they had. They lost because now they are scattered here and there in the rural area or in the urban area. Then their cremation ground, if you are taking the dead body of this tribal groups, nowadays they are having everything, government is arranging in starting of independence or before that, their dead body, how they was doing the funeral service, that is entirely different from the mainstream of the society. So they lost their cremation ground also. Their temple means not the Hindu temples where we are going for to pray to Lord Mahashiva or like Shankar, or what we are calling here in Tamil Nadu Sri Murugan or Ayappa Swami, like that. That was entirely different, their temples and temple services also. And wells and ponds, where they was depending on water, not the ponds what we are making nowadays. They are having the different one. If you are going to the hilly areas, we can see different types of wells, and the cleaning process also entirely different. Okay, then how will we survive if they lost everything? Then how they will survive? It says Govinda Maran, who was displaced due to the refinery project in Orissa. So the one of the person who is able to speak like that, people they are speaking, they are saying like that, we lost everything, not only our income and livelihood, we lost our tradition, our areas where we was keeping our dead body a safe place, or what we can say sacred place, or temple, wells and ponds. Then how we will survive like that? Who is asking? Govinda Maran. From where? From Orissa. As you have read, there exists an interconnectedness between the economical and social dimensions of the tribal people. Destruction is one sphere naturally impact the other. So their livelihood they lost. Then slowly, if without food, how they will celebrate their functions or ceremonies? They can't. So everything, there is a direct connection between the social changes as well as the economical changes. Then destruction of one sphere naturally impacts the other. Often this process of disposition and displacement can be painful and violent. If you are you people not studied this NCERT book of what we can say, the 1 to 5th standard, if you are reading that one, if you are go through the book of I think in 5th standard, 4th and 5th standard, there is some stories like that. The people, they are getting the migration, they are getting the compulsion to move from one place to another place, and they are explaining, we lost everything, we don't have where we will keep our cow, and now they are getting only small area where they can make their houses. They can't keep their animals with them, they can't make the hunting now because they are living with other village people. So animals are not available in the open place, they want to go inside the forest, then only they will get animals. Like that, they are making some what we can say folklore songs, how we can survive in the villages like that. Then we are moving to next part, that is the minorities and marginalization. That is another one concept. Not only tribals, other many peoples are there, they are getting the marginalization or marginalized in the society. That we will see in next video.